My name is Blackburn. Today we'll be discussing how social media marketing will be able to help bring our baby food company into the next generation. We have heard a couple of areas of concern because most social media marketing can sound a little bit scary, especially with the subject matter. For that, a couple of you might be a little bit too worried that it's a little too politically oriented, and our advertisements might get lost within the realm of everything. Lawsuit avoidance, because nobody likes getting sued. We want to avoid getting sued or any kind of slander, just inaccurate terms whatsoever. And we'll be going over how to do that too. And then returns on investment, because why market anything if you're not going to be getting a return on that investment or be gaining any other customers. So we'll be going into different types of social media first off, because there are many different platforms that we'll be able to discuss, the markets that are in those platforms, and then obviously the subject matter of those markets and how we'll be able to tie in. So traditional types of advertising are not quite as prevalent in today's society. We generally have three different types in the past: newspaper, television, and posters and billboards. Just paper, visibly paper. With newspapers, they're easily circulated, reproduced, but not too many people these days are buying newspapers. They're getting most of their information and news from their smartphones. With television, everyone's got a TV at home, and we can get advertisements out on any kind of cable network, any private network, depending on their agreements. I know Hulu does have certain packages where you can get advertisements in, but those can be fairly expensive and not easy to produce because you do have to have a whole video editing team, everything like that. And posters and billboards, easily visible, depending on where they're located. They might cost you a little bit in the long run because of that return on investment. With the different types of social media, like I was pointing to earlier, there are lots of different platforms that we can advertise on. Some that are strictly spoken word or written word. Some of them are strictly photograph based, and some even only have videos. So there are multiple different platforms that we'll be able to go over. Sites like Instagram or Snapchat being video and photograph driven will make it so that users can see our product and be able to actually give us credibility by putting a name to a face. The markets on all these social media sites we really want to tap into are going to be the ones that have the most users checking onto the site the most frequently. That means is that we want to go towards Facebook and Instagram, according to these charts here, because 70% of Facebook's followership and 59% of Instagram's followership check their sites every single day, with more than 72% of their daily on Facebook checking up to 5 times a day. Now, getting into subject matter, we really need to make sure that we're demonstrating something interesting. We don't want to be bland or be part of that white noise that's going on. And to avoid that, we avoid talking about politics or any of those other hot button subjects that people are talking about nowadays. Keep the advertisements unbiased, factual, and entertaining, making people want to pay attention and share our product with others. Next step, it would be lawsuit avoidance. This would primarily focus on building policies about what is and is not okay to post as an advertisement or just as a company on our social media sites. We would want to primarily have lawyers talk to our bloggers and advertising experts about not putting out any arguable or disputable terms. Everything needs to be objective and factual. And that's the easiest way to avoid a lawsuit. Now, we can state that we have our FDA approval and that we can choose to highlight or downplay the stem cell research as much as we would like. depending on our specific customer base on that media site. But as you can see, having some kind of a policy is very important. And then most important is return on investment. We are marketing to make money. That's the driving factor behind all of it. We are a business after all. With the profits, at first it will be a little bit more difficult because you do need to build that initial exposure. To be able to do so, I highly recommend we go through a third-party organization that specializes in social media marketing. Some of these are fairly inexpensive, and some can be very expensive, depending on how many different media platforms that we do want to advertise on. But if the longer that we have our platform set up, the longer that we are advertising on social media, the more of a percentage back that we will actually see, because we have more exposure, more people will be connecting us with more of their customers and more of their friends, and we will be on top, because if no one knows who you are, you don't sell any products, and everyone will know who we are after a amount of time being on those different platforms. So conclusions, recommendations, there are millions and billions of people on social media, multiple pages per person even, and per site. I know a few people that have multiple profiles on the same site that they access every day. And that is a market that we have yet to tap into. Large percentages of users, like I just said, have more than one site. Put in place an internet advertising policy. That way we can be sure to not have any lawsuits, avoid any lawsuits in the future, because we want to be making money, not spending it. And investing in a third-party social media site to get all of these advertising efforts up and running, so that we will be the most profitable on our endeavor. Thank you very much, and have a great day.